Not for me.
Okay, hearing none then. We'll move on reviewing and approving the minutes of September 9th.
I move that we accept them as presented.
I'll second.
And that was seconded. Any questions from you, Matthew?
Nope.
No, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We got that done. We'll move on to the warrants. Doug is not here. He did send the warrants early. He also did send the warrant detail. I've looked at everything and studied the warrant detail. There were no questions I had, but certainly I'll read off the warrants and we can take them one at a time. Payroll warrant is pretty standard. There were 2 payroll periods in the month of September, and that total, including taxes, fees, etc., $15,871.73.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Ray made that. Laurie, did you get that? Ray made the motion, seconded by Scott.
Correct, I did.
Matthew, assuming there's no questions, all in favor? I got a thumbs up. from
Aye.
Matthew. I'll put these to the side and then we can sign these when we're all said and done. The
Okay.
next one is the regular October warrant. There were a couple of early bills from September and the rest of them late last week. Nothing really out of the ordinary. There were a couple of payments of allocations. The annual fee to Bennington County Regional Commission is in there. The first of several allocations to the library is in there. There is a passive bill, that's our insurance bill, that was $15,000. Of course, that is shared with the water department. So some of that comes back. And then there was a $7,000 invoice for American Ramp Company, and that was part of the skate park upgrades that Mark Boudreau had talked to us about a while ago. So, and if you need to, everything is listed on the warrant detail. And here
Yay.
comes trustee.
Shift at the bar.
That's okay.
Abbreviated.
We just did the normal start of the business. This warrant, though, our expenses is $52,428.23.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have 2 seconds over here. No questions. Matthew, thumbs up from you. Okay, good. Then all in favor?
Aye.
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 And that's an aye from Tara as well. So we'll get these done as soon as we can. Moving right along, let me get my pages in order. Norm, we're moving on to you promptly.
Love.
I figured you would not.
So,
complain.
we're still out of the paving game, I'm not giving up hope yet, they're close, they're in our neighborhoods. So hopefully that'll be soon, we've got most of our ditching in place, ready for them. Leaves are starting to fall, be mindful of, your road, it's not legal to blow leaves out on the road and pile them out. We've got a bigger blower than you would, so I'll move right back. We fixed the sidewalk at the bottom of School Street and West Street. It is not a permanent fix. We took those steps out. But eventually our next sidewalk, when we decide to move forward, whether next year or after, is that piece off West Street. They're trying to bring the school all in a big circle. So we've got that done this month. The fountain will be, it's Columbus Day weekend. We shut it down right after that and cover it right soon after. So unfortunately, that's kind of the end of the summer for us. Getting ready for winter. We got one salt contract in place, handshake deal on another one. There's usually 4. So we're waiting the state to keep that can down the road, which put everybody else back this year. But So hopefully we'll do the best we can. Our,
Did I hear you correct? You said you have 4 salt contracts?
we usually have 4.
Okay,
We have 2. We have one
Yes.
in place, we have
Yeah.
one handshake,
yeah,
the smallest one, and then the one we use mostly. And then the other 2, you know, because we go in a row like
is
this.
it part of a state
The state
contract?
put out some big grant, and then they wait, and then they bid all the towns after the state bid it, and then they kicked all the contracts out.
Okay.
Redid it. You know, I wish we would be more like New York, in July, they settle up for the year, and that's it, so. We wait right till it's gonna snow. And deal with it, it is what it is. So we got that, we'll start street sweeping and, you know, doing things like that, we, got Park Street graded and chlorided. I went down it today, the ground is just so super dry.
Yeah,
It is what it is, we've done our best, we've done our best at it, so that's pretty much going, our new truck is here, we're just waiting on that one extra plow. The bill probably was in the warrant somewhere, because it was turned in, so. $59,000 or something.
I did not see it, but we can ask Doug about that when he returns.
He went to Laura, maybe, yes. She on the phone?
Yes, Lori, Norm is saying that there's a. Did we get that last time?
No, I have that, and
Okay.
it's gonna be taken care of, at the beginning of the week.
Okay,
Norm, just while you're there, I also have MDI check here, that you
Right.
asked me to hold, and you still like me to hold that for a while?
Yep,
Okay,
yep, so I'm ready for it.
okay,
So, other than that, we're going good. Our backhoe decided to, puke a bunch of emission sensors, for lack of a better term. You know, all the goodness of the mechanics that I've saved the village through thousands and thousands of dollars every year. I can't fix that, so we had to call Cat, they came over, they were here for a day and a half. It's not cheap, but it is what it is.
yeah,
These new emissions, they'll shut, they'll derate, so, you know, you won't be able to do 2 miles an hour
huh,
with the thing, and then it'll have no power, and it's just the way it is.
is that age of the backhoe or is?
No, unfortunately, they're finding that a lot of them are failing, you know.
Okay.
The manufacturer will admit that they maybe have a problem. They have admitted that they had a problem with their other urea pump, which that was our problem 2 years ago. They admitted they've remanufactured, changed some things. They're not gonna go back, cause I asked them, well, we're gonna get our money back from the
Yeah.
last one, they were like, no.
Okay,
You know, we bought the biggest warranty we could with it.
yeah,
It's off, it's out. Our big truck, couple of the lines underneath are leaking, they just started to see, that's down at Larry's, cause that's a warranty item, so. Hopefully we'll see that soon, but again, under a manpower shortage. If it gets too long, they're just gonna move the lines and put them in their warranty and. It is what it is. So. We're slowly getting ready for winter, whether you wanna look outside today, believe it or not, but it's coming.
yeah.
And that's about it. The government shutdown is not actually helping us in some other things. You know, it's not crazy affecting us, but there is some things that it's definitely affecting that we deal with, so, you know, people have to be patient.
Should we put on the website, your, way you want the boneyard opened for people to dump leaves?
We'll open it, for the month, it's open for the month of October, so.
Okay, so we
It's
can.
not open today, by Saturday, the first
Okay.
week in October, and if you'd like to put it on, it'll be open till. The last weekend in October. Or October 30th. We'll close it before Halloween, so it's not good.
Okay, we can get that on the website then.
If you wanna bring leaves only, not
Leaves
not
only.
brush, not garbage. We do have a brush pile, if they wanna separate it, I don't care if they throw it on there, we'll burn it in the winter. But leaves, only, and they'll get composted into the topsoil pile. And put there.
And where is this again?
In our boneyard,
Opposite Wellingfield?
opposite Wellingfield.
Yeah, okay,
That's not in bags or that's just the bare leaves.
right, I'm thinking more
Bring them in
about,
any container, receptacle that you want, back them back up and break them out. You don't want everybody's garbage, that's what's happening before.
but brush, like cuttings from bushes and stuff, you'll take also?
Yeah,
Okay,
but those go to the brush pile.
yes, yeah,
Leaves will compost down in the topsoil, which you want, and then they compost it, so. Yeah,
Before,
we're getting ready for that today,
okay.
So.
Before you go, there's a thank you card for the Lions, North Shack Lions, for their donation. They made a nice donation last month to help us with the Little League field, so we're gonna get and Lori, I'll drop it at your door so you can sign it too. Matthew's already done so. Yeah, got a good throw.
are we still, expecting the fence at Wellingfield this fall?
We won't, we don't want the fence this fall, because we still have to redo that too, we don't have to redo, we have to finish that one rocky bank.
Right,
We spent some time to work up there, we got, 3-4 days. We really wanna stay away from it because of the grass. I have talked with our fence guy, we're probably going to see a bill, because we're going to order all the material. And the
gotcha,
reason I wanna do that is just the world sometimes, stuff changes, right? We have it, at least it's sitting there in a pile. And we have it.
yeah, and the price won't go up.
And the price won't go up on the material,
Yeah.
labor is another story, but,
Yeah,
so, you should see that.
in the spring,
Yeah, we
I
had
would
the
say
quote for that.
summer, what's that?
We had the quote for that. I
We
think,
did.
A month or two, maybe 6 weeks ago.
Yes, and, call that fence guy.
Yeah,
Like I said, he's gonna order it. So it should be, we'll have to store it, which is not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's all metal posts and stuff like that, and then we'll have it, and then we'll just be able to, put it up when we're ready. Again, the field was supposed to take 2 years to mature. This, we'll see what happens. Now, I go up there almost every day, a lot of people walk, it's starting to turn a little green, and we're gonna get some rain. But we have had a tremendous investment in this field where, if the kids unfortunately get put off another 6 months to
yeah,
a spring or fall, they're gonna have to, because we
Yeah.
did not have that growing season to make that grass
right.
Right,
grow, and, that's not our fault. We have no way to irrigate it, and
Yeah.
if we started, then it gets dependent on.
yeah,
Like you're planting your house, right? You can have the same tree outside planted on the ground and in your house, and you water one there and then that, and then, 2 years you go back and just leave them the same, that one's gonna die. Cause it's gotta have it, so. I think we're still okay, we were gonna, fertilize it in the fall, we're not going to fertilize it now, we'll put that stuff in the warehouse,
Okay.
because we don't wanna burn.
right.
the ditching looks great on Park Street,
It's getting there.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, it'll all blend in and get straightened out. I still gotta put some markers in it. We picked up the cones because we needed them, and, that's kind of scenario, we'll leave them out for 30 days, but we'll have some markers, some delineators in there.
Yeah, that's pretty steep for.
That's really deep, but again, we haven't problem with it this year, then our next solution is to actually, is put pipe in.
Yeah.
And the ditch is there, and that's something we can do. I did go above and beyond, and not every organization in this community does, but. I made a nice bridge for the fire hydrants, so if they need to get to it, they can get to it easily.
right, I saw that,
And then also put another piece of culvert down by the walking trail, and.
Yep.
We've had some hikers come out and were like, couldn't thank me enough. But we actually cared about what they're doing, because they thought it was just gonna be a big mongrel ditch down through there.
It looks great.
no, it really does.
It does.
It's working,
Yeah.
you see it in the rain, now it rained.
What rain?
We won't be enough.
No, it won't be enough to fill it.
Couple Sundays ago when it was raining, Kyle come over and he watched it, and it came all down that field and then got to that first grassy
Yeah.
area and it just disappeared.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of what we were hoping that that would do.
Yeah,
So, we'll see. But it's working, it's working, it was going, so.
excellent.
Well, I drive that road fairly frequently, and I'm thinking about, there's that stretch where it's pretty deep, and it seems like, I don't know, it's fairly flat there, but someone might, end up with their tire in that ditch at some point in the winter. But that's the way it is.
Well, again,
Can we
that's,
just get those, that orange fence type stuff?
it wouldn't last.
No, it wouldn't last.
You know, the lineators aren't gonna last. They're not gonna
Just,
stand
just,
up
that's
to-
what I'm thinking, just something to
Wow.
draw a person's eye to.
Right, and that's why we wanna put some of those, but that fence is just,
Okay.
it just wouldn't stay. It is, I mean, you go to Shasbury, you drive
Yeah,
60 roads and they have ditches like that, right?
yeah,
There's you know what, the first kid that goes speed down and get knocked in that ditch, they ain't gonna do it again.
Mhm.
And you're gonna find it, you're gonna know what's going on,
Right.
it is what it is. You know, to putting, to pipe and it'd probably be like $10,000 to finish,
Yeah.
to pipe that. Right, because you gotta have cleanouts, it's too long of a run, you gotta put in boxes, it's just,
Right.
I mean, we can do it. But it's a constant maintenance item that you gotta keep
Right,
all the time because of the dirt road. A pipe on a paved road is different, a pipe on a dirt road is a real pain. So,
Well,
eventually,
so-
no different than our intersection, right? People, everybody, oh my goodness, the sky's falling, it's the horriblest thing in the world. And maybe not everybody's delight with it, but everybody drives through it, nobody knows it.
yeah,
So once they get used to that, the deal is, eventually we'll be able to clean out the other side and just take
Yes.
the hump off, we won't have to do a big ditch. But if it does what it was supposed to, what we're hoping it will do, and relieve water on the water stream from all
Yes.
the homeowners, it will be well worth
oh,
the
yes,
job. If it does not, and we go 1 or 2 years, I think we need to go a couple, and it does not, then, well, then maybe we just fill it in, you know? You can just scratch the rest of the bank down and fill it back in, if it doesn't do what it's supposed to.
well, I hope it works,
I don't know.
yeah, because,
Yeah,
you do have a nice stretch there to get down to the culvert going into the park and down to the river.
That's right, it's got a nice flat, easy,
yeah,
Yep,
not to wash out,
right.
so.
And, although I'm talking about the right-hand side there, you're going toward the park, you can always, most times you can take the center of the road and not
That's
have a
right.
problem. So,
yeah, you're right, right. Tim has a question, go ahead.
I sent Norm, a note about a possible ditch that could be placed in front of the firehouse. There is a catch basin there, and there's a low point outside the firehouse. But if that area floods, as is indicated on our various maps for flooding, we might be able to take enough water off quickly enough that that building would still be usable, even if there was an inundation of water there. I know that that new concrete wall has been added behind the firehouse, but should the water get behind that, around that, then the low point would be in front of the firehouse. It would carry away
Well,
directly into the creek, I think.
I mean, who knows what it would do if we got to the parking lot? Obviously, there's a 4 or 5 foot wall that they would come down.
Yeah,
Then there's a whole grassy area, it would probably just relieve itself back to the river. It would be, I mean, if it got in that scenario, which even Irene did not do, got to the front, in excuse me, to the back, right up to the parking lot, didn't even do that. Now, you go to the front side when the water comes down Prospect Street, and we talked about that, there is a drain right by the bridge that picks up some of it and dumps it right in the river.
Yeah.
The water does come around the corner and then hits it, but there is a swale already there.
Yeah, there's a small.
That takes a pretty decent sized amount of water. Kim, threw out just in a discussion, an idea of maybe putting like a trough with a grate in front of it, to catch more of it. Probably precast them, they're ignorantly expensive. You know, it's one of those things, if we were redoing the parking lot in the front, you know, would be the time to do it, to change that pipe, change both, or the one catch basin that's by the firehouse, that's old. And then going down through it, there is a drain in the center of the firehouse, it's a big box, I would assume. That most of the water that went through the door, because of the way that floor is all pitched to it, would hit that and go.
Mhm.
So it would also relieve, you know, it all depends on how. It all depends on, you know, when we wanna redo that.
I'm just sitting here, was there, am I dreaming, or was there like maybe 3, 4 years ago, maybe even more? Was there some discussion about redoing the apron in front of the fire station?
There was, well,
Yes.
we had yes, there was, and there was.
Is that-
When Ed Myers was not, fire chief at the time.
Right.
There was a lot of discussion, a lot of like, the sky falling. We came down that summer, we had some monsoon rains. We got pictures of it, it goes down and hits that ditch and it leaves, you know, it's a little swale will take a tremendous amount of water. And shove it away, you know, where a pipe is different, you know, it never got into the building. The front could stand a little concrete, but it's not like it's falling in, you know.
I think it was deprioritized because we had other things we were working on at the
Okay.
time, at the
Okay,
station.
I don't know, that just flew into my
Yeah,
head.
Yeah, like
it
he-
was one of three things. It was chimney, the apron, and then
The heat,
we're all on the table at the same time.
I mean, again, if you redid a, say you repoured an apron, you could use one of those garage drains, to almost like it's all Home Depot, and you could pour that in. And again, that would be astronomically cheaper,
Yeah,
right? You'd have to buy a commercial one,
yeah,
but if you poured that in with the sidewalk, and, you know, you still use the swale concept,
mhm,
and then that's kind of like your backup plan, it would take more long.
okay,
But that's kind of an engineer question, to do the flood plain and the 100-year flood, and, you know, and this and that, and, you know, tell you how big of a drain, I mean, and I caution you, when we do that, go back to the Overly Road, right, that went from a 4-foot pipe to a 12-foot pipe.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you open that box, you've got to go to that box. Right, so, you know, that could be a big, very big bucket item. You know, if we decide we're gonna put a drain in it, then we can do that ourselves, but once we
Okay.
start calling engineers and, you know, looking at, that's, you know, we're gonna be searching for grant money and all that stuff, and it's gonna turn into a pretty big size project.
I guess the concern is that 100-year floods are happening all over the place. They're
100%, yeah.
far more frequent than they used to be, so,
You know, everybody remembers July, August, September with no rain.
Yeah.
We forget that May it rained every day,
yeah.
you know, so, you know,
The floods and the fires and the
Yeah.
droughts are all happening.
Yeah. So maybe that's just something we can keep in the back of our minds for the future, and hopefully one of these days we'll all sit down and do some really
well, as,
detailed, long-term planning, and
Well, as
Think
the,
about what we
you know, the firehouse gets budgeted through either the fire department or, you know, whether you want me to do X with it. We decide, the board decides that they wanna change those acres,
Mhm.
right? Again, if we work and do anything in there, that's the time to do the work,
Okay,
right? You know what I mean? And
Right.
whether it's, it could be as simple as adding 2 or 3 more catch basins right across the front of that,
okay,
with short pieces of pipe, so when the water comes and hits those, it just has a lot more area to
to disappear,
relieve.
yeah,
Changing the pipe instead of a 12-inch pipe going to, you know, a 24. Right, and it would just drastically take that, and you know, you could start at 18. You know, and then work your way across and get bigger as it goes to the river, plus the swale. You know, and those are all things that we could do. And that wouldn't be terribly inexpensive. Because we set those boxes all the time,
Okay.
it's, you know, it's not a trough, but it would allow 3 points for water to drastically go in.
but if the creek overflowed that bank,
That
That's-
fence is gonna do nothing for it.
yeah,
The creek overflows that bank. Nothing in the front of the parking lot,
is,
I would think is gonna help anything to do that.
no, that's a separate problem,
Right, that would be, you know. Sandbagging, doing something with the bank, keeping it in the river. Cause I mean, you know, it's gonna come to the back of the building and then if it comes to the back of the building, it lands on the grass is gonna, you know, it's pitched, so it's just gonna go right back to the river. You know, and that's gonna do what it's gonna do, so. Nothing in the back can affect it. But front could be easily improved,
okay.
you know. If we wanna try to do.
Anything else on that, Kim? Okay,
Sounds good.
did anybody else have any questions for Norm? Nothing else you need of us at the moment?
No,
I have a question.
Yes,
This summer, because the Kansas City were down, we were talking, it's beat up pretty bad. The size of the trucks, there's like well-driven trucks and big trucks, like I mean, big trucks coming across that now to avoid that mess down on 67.
coming across where,
Coming across,
Oh, okay.
using, Mechanic Street as a way to avoid that. Is there any way to put like we have a load limit sign that says, you know, not only this much weight or, because they're, you know, what they've done is those big trucks come on their way in, there's not much room for a regular car, and they're hugging that right-hand side, and there's that dip like we were talking about, right in the road. It's just,
I have to look up and see where. I usually, I mean, outskirts of town, there are load limit signs. You know, if we wanted to buy something, we could post it on, I would tell you this. It'd be a waste of money, then they're gonna drive right by it, you know, now if you can get get an enforcement piece of that. And I have seen, you know, sitting across from Leon Johnson's quite a bit, I've seen down on the dip quite a bit, back into the cemetery quite a bit, so I mean, they're definitely out there looking for speeders or something, I've never seen have a big truck pull over. But if we could get the enforcement part of it, then it would probably, it would help, but.
Hmm.
You know,
Possibly.
unfortunately, nobody likes to hear this answer, it's kind of, I call it litter on a stick, because nobody pays attention to that.
probably by the time we researched it and got it all done, they'll have the roundabout open.
Yeah, well, the roundabout is, because I get an email about it
Okay.
every week, it's 2 months ahead of schedule.
Oh,
That's nice.
So whether, believe it or not, is, you know, it's good, it's still gonna be a year out. Cause obviously, that like everybody else, they're running into weather and construction, you know, they've had a great weather.
Yeah.
Right, but eventually.
so this is gonna happen for another year then,
Yeah.
so maybe it is worth looking at what we could do.
Yeah.
Does the state, how do you set load limits? Does a municipality do it, or Does the state do it by the class of road?
Some of it is a class of road, you know, how we get special, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
You know, everything's been done. You know, before we got here.
Okay. So, I'm sure there's not a quick answer, even though we could probably Google it, but hey, it's something we can look at.
Jim Henderson, you can post roads you post roads in the springtime
Yeah.
on roads that have big logging interstate traffic to break it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do that quite a bit on dirt roads, but on paved roads, not so much, but. You know, there is low limits, you know. If somebody's using it as a cut road is one thing, or somebody's using it as work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to somebody's house, it's on there, and there's a reason to be there, you know. I think what Steve's talking about, the cut roads.
Yeah.
Well, some towns, like I know, at Kelly Fuels, we used to have to buy a permit for like Sandgate and places like that. And they would stop you and make sure you had your permit. If you didn't, you were fined. And that the fine was pretty heavy, because we were putting a heavy truck on their road, especially in the spring. And they might send you an email or call you and say you can't use these roads because they're too soft right now. So, because you're gonna get stopped for that. I know some towns do have a permit for you when you're over X number of pounds to drive.
Yeah.
That's the important side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can do all that and we want, but unless somebody's there, to stop something.
Another ordinance.
Well, up there, the superintendent stops you, you know, if he sees you coming, he'll just stop and he'll pull over and he'll ask to see your permit or where your permit is. I'm not trying to give you more work.
I'm not doing that.
No, I know.
I got nothing.
That's how we do it.
All right.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right, let's move on.
Thank you, Norm.
Yeah, thanks for all the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, 7:30.
Right.
We are actually spot on.
Okay.
The next thing would be the treasurer's report. It's gonna be very brief, and I have 2 minutes to do it, and actually even more than that, and I will do. Just a quick reminder that taxes are due. Doug has put all this information out. It is posted in a number of places, and it's on the website. Taxes are due on Monday, November 10th. They are always due on November 10th. We adopted that some years ago because it also aligns with Shaftesbury and the town of Bennington. Doug will have in-person collection hours starting October 16th, each Thursday thereafter from 5 to 7, and every Saturday starting on October 18th from 9 to noon. On November 10th, he will be here from 2 o'clock through 6 o'clock in the evening. And as always, he will take an email or a call if a special appointment needs to be made. So that is that. Also, just to let you know about the audit. This one, as Doug has mentioned to us several times before, this is taking a lot longer. There's 2 audits, 2 years, new firm, new methodology, and things like that. Should be wrapping up at the end of the month, either October 28th or 29th. The water department will be involved in that, and we should be answering all the final questions and should have shortly thereafter the end of that audit. And that, I think, were the only 2 things that.
Mary, and then the next, we're going into an annual audit,
Yes,
so it will be quicker.
much quicker.
Yeah, so that's good.
And we will also know exactly how this auditor operates, how they do things, the reports they need. Even better than that, we now have, thanks to, I think, the graded school and Norm, we now have file cabinets down here So we're gonna start to be organizing our records, so they're not in everyone's closets and basements, et cetera.
Yeah.
Or heaven knows where they are in here. And
Right.
we will, now that we have the schedule, the records retention schedule, we'll know exactly what we need and we will know where they are.
Excellent.
That was it for treasurer's report.
Good job.
Fire department, unless somebody has something to add, we can jump over that and we will go right to the water department. Steve, you're on.
Can we,
Oh,
well, can we go back to the fire department?
yes, please. Do you want to do that now? I took to work.
Right.
Okay. Because we do have time.
We can just go back.
Okay. Steve,
Steve's here, so. Take care of the issue.
okay.
It is that time of year, my yearly visit here. It's time to appoint a water board member. The member that's up is yours truly. The water board asked me to stay another term and I said I would. And the other person is Mark Boudreau. So those are the two candidates. Okay. Update on where the water board is. I believe all our projects are closed out. And we are waiting for a final check from the bond bank. We have, as you know, I've run around and got your signatures about 4 times for this paperwork and they never seem to get it all in one spot. So Doug did the final bookkeeping thing that they needed, so we should see that money come to the water board for the survey that we did on lead and galvanized lines, okay? We don't have any lead lines in North Bennington, which is a nice thing that we don't have that, so we got a couple of old galvanized ones, but that survey is done. We did purchase a truck for the water department. That truck was purchased so that we don't have to have always 2 people tied up in one truck. It would be more efficient to send them out to do different tasks at different times. And make it a little easier for them to get their work a little bit more maintenance done. We are starting this year, we will be starting project lists. I did go to a asset management thing, as I told you, a year or 2 ago, and one of the things that was really said was that, you know, municipal water systems, sewer systems, and municipalities in general need to look at down the road. What have we got to be at money wise? And you can't always, you know, base dust, you can't always depend on raising those taxes or our water rates or our sewer rates, because we just won't be able to do enough at the cost of what things are costing. So we're looking down the road to look at the projects we have. How are we going to fund it without borrowing money? I hate borrowing money, as you know. I hate anything borrowing money. Interest is the cream off the top of the milk, and I like us to have that. So we're looking at ways to do that. So that's where the water board is at this point.
Okay, so you need an action from us for the appointment?
Yes, we need a.
I
motion, make a
will
motion.
make a motion to appoint Steve Goodrich to the chair presumably?
No, to the board. I am not chair this year. You can serve 3 years as a chair. You then drop off for a year.
Got it.
And now Joe Franklin will be chair for the next year. He was the last chair.
Gotcha.
Who will
Okay.
be the chair?
Huh?
Oh,
Joe.
okay. I just didn't hear.
Yeah,
Okay, my motion is then to appoint you to the water board.
thank you.
Second,
Questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
I,
I,
Okay, you've got that.
Thank you. Appreciate this.
Steve, I have a quick question.
Sure.
If
Of course,
board has time.
of course.
I thought there was another member too.
No,
No, that-
there were two names get given to
Okay,
the
I
trustees
see.
and
All right,
we.
they have to give us 2
Yep,
options.
all right.
They can't give us.
we had the option of choosing
Yes,
elsewhere. Okay, thank you.
I remember having a chat with the old foreman, Mr. Elwell. Jerry, yes. And he described to me the water line that came, we were at Lake Perrin, there was some event. And that came along the shoreline of Lake Perrin. And then I'm not sure where it went, but does it go through the Sage, mill property to service, Sage Street? So is that an active line still? Cause he said you were hoping to replace that at some point.
That was replaced when we had the last bond vote that we had for, that replaced that, that brought a new line from our distribution down into the village. That's the main trunk line that comes down in here.
Is that when the fountain went in?
No, the fountain has been there. Whenever there was nothing there, and then there's just a service line tapped off the regular main that's out on Main Street to feed the fountain.
No, I meant, what I'm getting at is there a water main that's closely near the dam itself still?
The water dam by
They're like Parent Dam,
it's moved over, but it's in that vicinity. but it's a
okay,
new
and
line.
it's still active,
Yeah, that
and,
is your main trunk line coming in, that is the water for North Bennington.
okay, and, how old is that, would you say?
The new one is,
When was that, 10 years ago?
Or
no,
less than that.
less than that, we had it
Yeah,
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, that'd be
because that
great.
was.
How big is that long? 10-inch main, I think, or 10 or something like that. 10 inches? Yeah. And that's plastic or is it? No, that's ductile iron. The village, yeah, that one coming down is where it ties into here is ductile iron. When you. The village does not, the water department does not like PVC pipe in the ground.
Yeah.
It is very temperamental.
Right,
Okay, regardless. We like to have people use ductile iron, and if we have a say, that's what they use for the parts that the village owns, but on their own property, they can run PVC pipe. I'm not quite getting what you're saying, so if you just spell it out for me. Okay.
Ductile liner.
Okay, ductile, meaning it's metal. Is steel pipe. Yeah. And it is. Yeah. Is the preferred method, but the problem is the cost of ductile liner. Is 10 times what CPVC is. Yeah, right.
But it's sturdier and it won't
Sturdier,
rust,
it won't
even
move
crack,
and
and
move up.
roots won't be going through.
You know, the leak that we had in front of the firehouse was CPVC pipe.
Yeah.
It's very temperamental, it doesn't take much.
The internet says that it's typically cement mortar applied to a ductile iron pipe to prevent corrosion.
Sorry, say that again?
It's cement mortar applied to an iron pipe.
That's ductile iron.
Yeah.
Okay. The update on the Shasberry, the new water main. They got their last, from what I was told, they got their last permit, okay, from the state, which was the betterment for the community, whatever they do for the public. We haven't heard from them. The engineer and the attorney are calling them to say, when are you going to start? I would assume they're going to put that out to bid this winter and be ready to go. But that will be a new line from underneath Route 7, where our main comes into, over toward the filtration plant. That'll be a new 10-inch ductile iron main all the way to the top and over the hill, and it will stop just before the Rod and Gun Club. So that is, but we're waiting to hear when they're going to start that. There's still a few things.
They'll stop at the Rod and Gun Club.
There's, yeah, because they bought that whole fat pasture of land that used to be a farm, and it abuts the Rod and Gun Club's property on
Okay.
the other side, and Shasberry side, on their side of it.
Yeah.
And then it runs downhill to the filtration plant. And there's one spot up there just before, it's maybe 1,000 feet by whatever. I really don't know where the gates of hell are located, but that is the vestibule to get you there. It is solid ledge, it is everything. So we wanted them to get it across that, because you're gonna put a brand new pipe on a 100-year-old pipe that is basically cast iron.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be able to have it, so we wouldn't have to fool with that, and there's shut offs there, so we can take care of it if we have to. But
Wow.
there was some negotiating that had to be done to get us to say, we have a neutral position.
They'll maintain the cast iron pipe as part of the system.
No, we have to maintain it. They're putting in the line. What they're doing is, remember that in 1920, when they started digging that's been dug by hand. There was no machinery, there's no,
Right.
you know, anything. So if they were digging along and they ran into a big rock, they went here, up, over here and up. So that
Smart.
line goes all over that field. It is not a straight line, but they're going to make it a straight line.
Mhm.
And then they will leave their panels open so we can maintain that at all times and be able to get in there.
Okay. So how long does the steel and concrete last?
If you added up how old we are and multiplied it by 5, that's probably when they'll have to worry about taking care of it.
Like 80 times to 78 times
Yeah.
5. Okay.
Well, that old
Something
cast
like that.
iron pipe has lasted 100 years.
Okay.
So it will be something we take care of. The biggest, we are on a plan, we have the Overlea Road project that we're trying to get that through. And that's still on that list, and there, I think the end of October, they're going to start deciding what projects get that. So we're hoping, we were on that list high up on it at one time, so. Hopefully we get that, that's our old.
That's the oldest pipe.
That is the
system,
oldest
right?
pipeline in the village, yes.
So I thought that had been replaced, but that it's still opinion.
Yeah, it's still there. That is, if it doesn't get replaced, then that's one of our future projects that we have to figure
Okay.
out how we're gonna attack that.
Well,
I feel like when we say we're gonna attack something, I feel like George Custer going down into the Little Bighorn. It's, you know, there's a lot to replace a pipe like that, so.
yes,
But that's engineers, and as Norm said, that you have to get them involved in something like that, so.
right.
I have one more. You said that you just completed a survey of the pipes in the village, galvanized versus.
Yeah, it was a lead line survey.
Lead, yeah.
Lead line survey. And that was basically, they went to each house and looked at your curb boxes and looked through all the records of what was tied in, who tied it in, and that, we have an old connection book. It's probably that thick, looks like a Bible type thing. And from Ken Cooch on, they wrote everything down in just handwriting, so
Wow.
they can tell. So there was no lead connections. Bennington's was filled with lead, where it came into your house, they had to change from the galvanized to copper. And so they would put a lead pipe in there and then wipe a joint on both ends of it.
Oh,
That's the lead you want to get rid of. But they also would do it at the curb box out on the street where you're shut off this.
so as far as the water mains, there's no lead and no galvanized in the public system. The service lines to the houses, like my house has galvanized. But no lead servicing people's homes.
No lead at the main tying your connection to your house.
Okay,
But there could be lead in people's homes.
That's right.
Yes.
There shouldn't,
Yeah.
if you're not sure in your house, all you have to do is look at it and you can tell it's lead, and it'll have a little ball on it like that. Pipe will come up into it. That's where they wiped the joint, so to speak, to tie it together.
right.
But those have been all pretty well
Yeah.
removed. Some of them were removed when the water board put in some water meters that they found them. Jerry took them out at that time.
Cool.
So the steel is just raw steel.
Huh?
Is the steel lined in any way? It's just steel. Then?
The ductile iron,
Yeah,
yeah, it's lined, however, it's made out of some composites, as Sarah said, and, that's what you have. That is the standard of what they use in water lines.
okay.
The old pipes just cast iron.
And you're referring to ductile iron, so it's not actually steel.
Right.
It is. iron.
Ductile iron, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right. Okay.
And there is a wooden line that comes out of Cold Spring.
Oh,
That's not a problem. That's just the reason. There's
Is
actually.
that my spring that comes out? Yeah.
It actually was, there's part of it that is wood, where they just pulled it out, pulled it out. We used to have a piece of it that rotted away and we threw it away.
That's funny.
So, any other questions?
But thank you. We probably should periodically have you come and do some sort of an update. We could put it on the agenda because I'm sure it's, I mean, it was fascinating, so I'm sure others would have been fascinated to hear it too. So thank you very much.
Definitely.
The real historian is Jerry, so we don't have him to really,
Yeah.
he knows where every nut
Yeah.
washer was, but
Right.
it was nice to have him here to do that, so. And we have our other board member here.
Yes.
They're doing a very good
That's right.
job. It's getting harder and harder to find people to be on board, as you well know.
Tell me about it.
It really is, you say, would you, no, I can't even get it out of my mouth quick enough, but,
Yeah.
so far, we've been very lucky to corral people.
Well, thanks.
Well, thank you for
Yes.
taking extra time.
Yes, yes,
If you hold them
appreciate,
hostage.
appreciate the update
Yeah.
very much.
All right.
I didn't mean
Take
to
care, Steve.
Yes.
belabor.
Take care.
this
All right,
one.
let's go back to fire department.
Oh, well, there's still the issue from last month about the fire warden. Not about the fire warden per se, but just about how we deal with this, with people who are burning things that are not supposed to be burning. And what, you know, the statute doesn't really give us any help. So I looked it up again.
We're talking about the state one or the village one?
State,
Yeah,
that's where the fire warden comes from.
yeah,
And it says that the warden can. The town forest fire warden, which is what the title is, may call upon any person for assistance. And they can delegate command authority to, obviously, to chief engineer of the responding fire department. But it's okay, so, but the circumstance that we were talking about was someone burning in barrels or somewhat controlled behind the house, burning of stuff that they shouldn't burn, painted materials and so forth. And, you know, she can't call on that person. That person is being asked to cease. And they're not ceasing. So her problem, this is. Yeah, the problem, Cindy's problem is that, as the warden, is that she has no way to enforce that order. If they refuse or desist for a bit and then go right back to it.
do we know what Bennington does? Or
No.
Shasbury?
I don't know that. Could ask that.
Cindy would know.
I mean, you
Well,
roll a
I-
truck up in there and you flood their backyard, that might send them.
I thought the same thing, where after the meeting was over last month, it was, what if you just call the fire department and put it out?
I mean, I think you'd have to get police involved because, I mean, literally, we're in a state burn ban right now. maybe
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
But, you know, I think you need to get police to get the legal part of it down, and then the fire department can put it out if they're burning stuff they're not supposed to burn. Like, if they do it again, how many violations do they have before something
Right.
sanctioned happens?
Well,
I would say she just has to call the cops, is the right answer.
That would certainly be a logical place to start.
And that could be, mostly, it would be, Bennington PD, not the sheriff,
It would be Bennington
Yeah.
PD,
yeah.
but for heaven's sakes, help should be given.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. No, I remember I suggested the sheriff last month and,
But we
That-
don't
that
have an
shouldn't be-
arrangement with the sheriff.
we do have an arrangement with Bennington.
Yes,
PD, yeah.
yes, we pay
And they
taxes.
they can opt to send it to the sheriff, but we can't go direct to the sheriff. I think it has to be them saying, oh, we don't have a body, so
Okay.
send him instead.
Oh,
So
okay.
do we need to facilitate that as a pathway for our fire warden to take?
No, it's literally illegal to burn this stuff.
Yeah,
so
well, we know
She
that.
just needs to call the cops.
She just needs to call.
Yeah,
And certainly this board supports that action.
yeah.
For
Yes,
sure.
I think part of the reason for bringing it up is to indicate clearly that we do support
Oh,
the warden's
Yes.
the warden taking steps to actually get the fire put out or
Yes.
to, I don't know if they can provide, they can give a ticket, not, she can't, but the fire warden can't, but the police,
Yeah,
because it is against
State
state
law,
laws.
yeah.
no, that's just it. It's
Yeah.
call the cops because that's what needs to happen.
Okay,
yes.
That is the power that she has. There's no, we don't want her to be, confronting people and getting into.
well, no, we don't,
problems. She needs to just call the cops if they're not listening and get multiple violations, because literally the
she
Vermont.gov,
she has to document the violation and
yeah,
refer it, yes.
yeah. The Vermont.gov says there's high fines, there's community service, there's all kinds of things you can get, including jail time if you're burning when you're not supposed to be burning.
Yeah.
So,
And
Say-
burning materials, you're not supposed to be burning.
don't overthink it, call the cops.
Right.
Well, that's pretty concise.
Yes, and to Ray, to your concern, yes, I think. I think the board, we could just go by show of hands, unanimously supports
Yeah,
the notion that the fire warden needs.
Well, why don't we just
Especially
have a
when we've got-
resolution that we encourage the fire
Do
warden
that.
to
State, yes, propose that.
to utilize the resources of the Bennington Police Department when violations of burning ordinances and materials burned are found and not dealt with properly
Correct.
by the person or persons burning the materials that they're not supposed to burn. And at the
being
time.
a
they're
dead
not
horse
supposed to
here, call the cops, that's the
Right.
answer.
Okay,
burn. Well, that's what I'm saying.
that's, yes,
That's the resolution I'm proposing.
Yes,
Ray would like that as a resolution.
I would second that
Second,
with one, question possibly. You used the word ordinance, should we use
I
the
didn't say
word?
ordinance.
no,
I did not say
You
ordinance.
did, but,
oh, I didn't hear it.
I
should we,
did not.
okay,
Okay,
I heard the word ordinance,
Okay.
but anyway,
Well-
should we say statute instead of ordinance?
yes, whatever the statute is, whatever the,
Referring to it as a resolution of
yes,
support.
yes.
basically.
But I think what you're talking about is we are supporting the use of the police to make sure that our fire warden has all the support he or she needs to follow the state statutes and get everyone to
Right.
comply with that. But Ray was a bit more specific in his language than I just was.
Okay. Well, I'll second.
So
whichever.
let's ask Lori if she has something that she can put in the minutes that makes sense to her.
I do.
Okay,
And you have that made by Ray and seconded by Scott? That's a nodding yes. Is there any questions? Concerns? If not, all in favor of that resolution?
Aye,
We seem to have that unanimous. Thank you.
okay.
Okay.
thank you for getting.
DRB is next
Well,
on the
you
agenda,
started it last.
Well, I know,
week.
but you seem to have done some research there.
and we are,
Kim, you posted the topics. Were you just gonna talk about what we talked about at our last meeting, or?
I think just status,
It's just
just status.
status. 940 Water Street is continued.
Up in the air, yeah.
67 Mechanic, was a parcel division, request that was denied. And, 153, 163 Quarry Lane, finding of fact has been written and sent to, the town's, villages, council.
Yeah.
And we're awaiting response on that. We have 45 days before, having to issue that. So we're in that period.
Okay.
And then Chris, do we have a meeting this month?
As of this moment, no.
And it's not next week, it would be the following week
Yes,
if we
28th.
did have it,
First,
because of the way the days fell.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be sending an email out at some point, but I'm waiting for things to gel. I don't have anything specific.
Are you free to, entertain questions about 940 Water Street?
I mean, right now, we're waiting for the state to get back.
Right, waiting for the, I don't know her title, but the person who's responsible for, flood plain maintenance and so.
No, I would say we shouldn't discuss it right now. If you're
Okay.
interested, definitely come when it comes up in the DRB, because it's, you know, a lot of questions that we probably can't answer half of them because we're waiting for answers.
Yes, and I don't wanna, get involved where it might jeopardize some
No,
rule or whatever.
we just don't have answers right now.
Okay,
Well, while we're on things, planning commission, next on the agenda, there is a meeting on October 22nd. And Kim, I know you were not at that meeting, but, I'm sure you can comment on the items that we were going to be updated on here today, so.
Or, short-term rental ordinance draft has been given to the trustees. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with that, and to, if you do vote to move forward on that, then you need to sit with the clerk and go through all the necessary steps for adopting the ordinance.
So if I might just ask whether, because I sent that out after the last meeting, and again, just the other day. I don't know whether board trustees feel they've had time to look at that, or do we want to have another discussion on this next month to give everybody plenty of time?
I have not read it, so
Okay.
I do have it.
If the planning commission has voted it forward to us,
Mhm.
then we need to have an official, like, meeting in order to adopt it as an ordinance. So I think,
Well, the next thing to do is if we agree, then we have to go through the whole ordinance process.
yes.
So if we haven't even, if not all the trustees have read this, we'll consider that again next month. Because once we do, then we put it out again for public meeting, comment, newspaper, all of that kind of stuff.
Second item, we have a draft of an unsafe and hazardous building ordinance. It's being reviewed by the commission, so it's not ready for passing on to the trustees, but it addresses buildings that pose danger to the public, either because they're about to fall down or they contain hazardous materials and so. So, we'll be working on that at our next meeting. We also have, broader, ordinance text that we're working on, which is essentially pulled from Bennington's building requirements. And we're in an earlier stage on that. So that has not been reviewed very much by the commission. We offer our services to the Prudential Committee for anything that we can do to assist with securing a future for our village school. I have written a couple of letters to the editor, and put them before the Prudential Committee, and they will make their decision as to whether or not that furthers the cause. And at the moment, we don't have, anything back from them that would suggest that we have the right answer for that. Tyler Christie got back to me, she's with, BEM. The emergency action plan for the dam is being updated. Her note to me a few days ago says that will be done by October 15th. They will then have a meeting at the dam with various parties from V-Trans and the Dam Safety Committee, the Dam Safety Program, and they will begin the training process for the monitor that V-Trans has designated to monitor our dam.
Thanks.
We are not involved, Norm is not involved. It's VEM organizing this between Chief Myers and V-Trans.
May I offer that? We're talking about ordinances that we're working on, and one of the ones that is in play is an ordinance that deals with trash and debris. I got a call just Monday again about debris and trash attracting rodents. So I need that ordinance so I can deal with these things. Or I need to find out where I need to change that.
That person, if it's the same person that you talked to, was calling the town of Bennington. Because the health officer in Bennington did help a few years ago with another similar issue. But I did mention that an ordinance was being worked on, and the folks would like to be involved or be aware whenever that happens, so very timely, I guess.
Right, just another reminder, we need to
Yeah.
get something in place so that
Yeah.
we know how to deal with these.
Yeah.
I don't wanna just have them say, oh, you call Scott. That's not the way to deal with it.
Yes.
We just need to get something on paper.
Ray, you had a comment.
I was
too.
going to respond to Tim's point about the Prudential Committee. Since the letter sits with me at the moment, and I'm trying to verify one claim in there, which I have not put it to the financial director at SU yet about that particular sentence about costs, what our costs are in terms of per pupil spending, whether they're below average or whatever. So I wanted to, that's mostly because the state, when it went to this long-term weighted average, weighted ADM approach, changed the parameters, and I'm a little bit, I really don't quite understand what they did. So I need to ask the financial person to give me an opinion, so I will do that tomorrow. Thank you.
New business.
I had one other
Oh,
question for
please.
Kim. Are we expecting, I know it's still 2025, in 2026 for there to be another dam inspection? A formal dam inspection as we did in 2024?
We're expecting in 2026 that the dam safety rules will have teeth. that they will be passed this legislation and the dam safety program will no longer just send out information, but actually have enforcement power.
Hmm.
That has not occurred yet. And so we're waiting for that legislation to pass in 2026. And then these won't be discussions, these will be enforcement actions if they fail to maintain the dam.
But will there still be a requirement for the dam to be inspected every couple of years?
Oh, I'm sure.
So, if it's the schedule we've been seeing, then 2026 should have another inspection,
It's every 2 years.
right? Okay. All right, thank you.
Not to rush on if there's other questions, but if not,
Nope.
I probably have 5 more minutes left on my battery here. New business, Tara, was there any update you wanted to do on the block party or whatever it was called last weekend?
Oh, I did not attend, I was
Oh.
running a seminar,
Oh, well,
so I can't tell you, I heard music from a
okay,
phone.
I,
I attended.
yes. Was it well attended?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
There was
Another-
music.
There
another
was
good,
music. I was-
another good
Did
village.
you get to go, right?
We were
I
listening from.
heard, I was late, but I got there and I did hear one song and then that was competently done, so
Oh,
I assumed it was all nice.
okay.
It looked
I-
like, from Facebook, it looked like it was well attended.
Yeah.
Good.
Had a good time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, old business. We had an issue, we had just a brief email discussion among trustees on signage on village property because people had been putting signs out there. Our ordinance says you cannot put signage on any municipal property without authorization. We do ask people get in touch with someone from the village, apparently. At least one of the organizations had gone to Ray and Ray had given that, not Ray, I'm sorry, Norm had given
Yeah, I
them
think,
approval.
yes.
But I guess the thing is, there's another thing out there now. I don't really know, we have an ordinance, but who the heck is watching and following up on all signs? Do we even want to do that, or do we just, you
What's
know?
the sign that's up there now?
There's one about, I think it says soup for supper or something like that.
The empty bowls?
It might be the empty bowls.
Oh, empty bowls.
You know, again,
Right,
another
yeah.
nonprofit, so
Yeah.
do we just assume if it's a nonprofit, we let it go? I
Yeah,
don't
you can
know.
always remind them to ask permission, but I think everyone's paying attention and sees what goes up.
Yeah,
And if
okay.
something goes up that we haven't said like
Okay.
yes to, or, if it- yeah,
Okay,
I think. we just
because
kind of
I've been
package it
away.
together.
I
Yeah,
came back, I saw it, I didn't know if anybody had anything. So,
Yeah,
again,
that-
if we have an ordinance, why have an ordinance if there's no way to track it or monitor?
I think
or
it's
enforce
just
it?
policy, I think.
Well,
Do we have an ordinance?
yes,
Oh,
it is an ordinance,
all right.
but at any rate,
Well, yeah, and what we've done is for nonprofits, we've allowed that for temporary
yeah.
signage. Yes.
So maybe the next time we review the ordinance, which I think was 2019.
Need a little
We can
escape.
just put a little, yes, good thought, okay, all right, no need to belabor that.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that makes perfect sense to me.
The MERP, building reviews that we did. I know I only stayed for this one, and you guys did the firehouse. Did the engineer come back another day and do the other buildings yet, or do you know?
We did the firehouse and we did the highway department.
Okay, so that was another day or this?
No, same day.
Oh, I thought she was gonna go to lunch after we left this and it was gonna close up.
No, we ended up at the highway department.
Oh, okay, good, so it's all done then.
We've done it all, yes.
All right.
We haven't
When I
done
left
the
here,
work,
she was-
physical
yeah.
work, but we
Okay,
at
when I
least
left
you
here,
there.
she had said maybe we'll do it
no,
another day.
no.
And, okay,
No,
all right, good.
she was I thought she was pretty determined to get it done.
Excellent.
And so was
It's
Bill.
good to hear.
And Bill,
happy
Bill
to
was
hear that.
climbing up on things that I
Yes.
thought were pretty perilous
Yes.
himself in the highway department.
Happy to hear that. Okay, so we'll just wait, but I know, let's see. My understanding from Matthew the other day is we have not been able to locate any drawings or blueprints or anything.
We have not, and my thought had been to talk to Tim Smith. Unfortunately, Tim Smith died.
Oh, is that right?
That's,
I did not know
correct,
that.
that's very sad,
Oh.
Yes.
sad loss.
But if there were drawings that he did, they're not in this building, as far as I can tell. And so might be in his possession, or in his office, or his,
Right.
as they say.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, so Lori and I have talked about that, and Lori recalls specifically putting those plans, or having found those plans, because George had them, and having submitted them to the building, but she thinks maybe she also has other copies. Lori can speak to that, but I think a further investigation is warranted, because I know I've seen them. I know they're there. It's a, we just gotta
Well,
look.
you know, when we were doing that, we couldn't get in the storeroom at the end of the building.
And Mary has unlocked that, or said she was going.
It is unlocked. I did that the other day.
Okay,
So Ray, it's like a soft-sided, thick binder.
it's a what? Soft.
Soft-sided, thick binder, and I believe it's green. They were plans when George renovated the depot. The
Okay.
plans were done by Tim Smith and John Traver.
Okay,
I submitted that whole set of copies to the Board of Trustees a
okay,
number of years ago. I believe I might have another set of those. I just had this discussion with Matthew. I've not gone to look
okay.
upstairs in my own house. We do have very specific sets of plans for the
Yeah,
depot.
no, that sounds reasonable to expect that, and I'm glad that you
Yeah.
had knowledge of it.
And actually, that's really helpful to have that description, because I've been thinking it would be the big rolled up masses
Right.
of paper.
No. So they're all the plans, the binder's very thick, but like I said, it's soft side,
Soft-sided.
not one of those hard binders, but it's really thick. And so the plans unfold and lay out.
Okay, then.
Does
they're
that make
folded up
sense?
and- okay,
Yes.
I see.
Okay,
Well, I agree then, we can go and do another dive through things. I absolutely know that nothing like that was thrown away.
right.
So it could easily be here, and when I was looking, I was looking for rolled up
I
pieces
was
of
looking
paper.
for roll up.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
no.
excellent, well, we can take that up again, but great information to know,
Thank you very much,
yes,
Lori and Matt.
yes. Any other business that we might need to conduct or discuss?
Do we need to sign warrants?
Yes, they're here, we can do them afterwards, but you can sign it, start it here.
I would, kind of, when I.
Yes, Ken,
I think this space needs to be upgraded. One duplex electrical receptacle for a conference room is not reasonable.
no, because I can't even plug in my computer here now.
Not in, live stream television here is hampering
Right.
to a lot of meetings.
Yeah,
And these are not expensive things
Yeah.
to bring to the space. I mean, this is really not an appropriately appointed conference space for a town.
And That said, the next meeting is November 11th,
Oh, I didn't
which
get that
is,
other one.
which is Veterans Day, I think, but that shouldn't impact anything other than Norm wouldn't attend. But at
November 11th?
November 11th, but at that meeting, on
11th,
that, on that meeting agenda, we will start talking about budgeting. So all of these ideas, we need to make sure that they come up in these next couple of meetings. We will have specific special meetings for groups of our departments and talk about things like that, but perfect time to bring that up.
Working clock.
Yeah,
Yeah, working
I
clock,
just noticed that was.
That's right.
and it's
Yeah.
running. I would like to point out that visually, that bookcase is way oversized for that spot, so,
Okay, well, yeah,
That's where the
And-
TV can go.
yeah, and it's only got, old things in it, so.
that's all part of the records retention. We're all happy to help with that. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
It is, hold on, I'm trying to find the exact time here.
8:21.
8:21. Is there any other business to conduct one last time? If not, motion to adjourn is needed.
So moved.
Second.
And seconded, I see thumbs up all over the place, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you, see you all on November 11th.
November 11th, okay.
Veterans Day.
And this,
Thank you, Mary.